Greetings and welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our first weekly overview for 2023 for the week commencing the 2nd of January 2023. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope that you get an opportunity to take a look at the monthly overview that's just dropped and our annual overview as well. Looking ahead to 2023, the main themes that we are being asked to pay attention to. So last week we had Hexagram 3, difficulty at the beginning or sprouting, new things beginning, needing to focus on our foundation and getting that in place in the midst of lots of new things popping out of the surface, all the eggs cracking, okay, and the chicks are rising and the seeds popping and having to deal with a whole lot of things at the same time. And of course, the acceleration of our learning as we learn on the job. So for you last week, what was that? I took a lesson from the I Ching and focused on getting my foundation of my work life organized, which is my desk. Having moved, it's been one of the things that I haven't sorted out. I haven't unpacked boxes. It's just sitting there as it was when everything got put in place. And so I thought, okay, my desk is the foundation of my workflow. I needed to get this in place to support the new things that are popping out all over the place. So what for you was your foundation that you worked on last week? Right, so this weekly overview, what are we being asked to pay attention to? Our first hexagram as we start off the year, okay, is hexagram 7, the army, okay. What an interesting hexagram as we start off the year. We do have this kind of theme of retreat for the first 2 weeks of January, if you've looked at the monthly overview. So it's quite interesting, this retreat, but also this army. The two ideas are very similar. If you've listened or watched that episode, you know what I mean. And the army hexagram, okay, is, if you look at the symbol of this hexagram, we have water, okay, in the bottom trigram, and we have earth on the top. And what this gives us is the idea of reserves, okay, the underground lake or spring deeply within the earth, held deeply within the earth. And what we need to do is we need that water, okay. So what we have to do is we have to tap into that water supply. We have to send down a borehole, tap it out, and use power to suck that water out to get what we need. So this hexagram comes to us when we are needing to put energy into something, okay, when we need to mobilize people and that we have a big undertaking to do. And the way that we do that undertaking is that everyone knows what to do. There's a clear strategy. You are the general of a situation of your life, of your business, or of your personal situation, and you're getting stuck in with authority, with energy, and with drive to undertake something exceptional. Under exceptional circumstances, okay, we need to tap into the resources all around us. So in the typical story of this hexagram, the resources are, the army, the people around us who are trained professionals to fight the war, okay? And then we have our civilians who are kind of last resort, where we draw out from the civilian base people to help us. We draw on the resources that are around us. This does not mean that we are going to face a war in this week, okay? It's not at all. What it means is that we are needing to draw on resources and energy and support to do something exceptional, to undertake something with lots and lots of energy. And so that requires us to have a strategy, to clearly communicate that strategy, and to be in charge and to be that general that is calm and has everyone organized, and every battalion, every team, every business unit, every family member knows their job, okay, and is mobilized to undertake the task at hand. We have for this week 2 changing lines in the 2nd and the 4th position. Now these 2 changing lines are quite curious because they contradict each other, okay. One of the joys of I Ching changing lines is sometimes you get lines where, what does this mean? Okay, how do I interpret these 2 conflicting pieces of information? Because we're doing time-based overviews predominantly on this channel, we can put a time period, so we can say the first line kicks in and matures, and then the next one matures throughout the week. So they may relate to the same issue, but different phases of the same issue. But they could also relate to different things, okay? So what I would suggest you do is stay open, okay? Stay open to what this might mean for you. Because when it pops up and when you see it, you will think to yourself, But then I Ching said, okay, could this be an opportunity to be the general of the army and to lead with force? Or could this be something else? Because we've got two conflicting things. Okay, so just stay open and just learn from the process. I ask that whenever we work with the hexagrams, you don't try and overdo forcing an idea of presupposing what it is in your process before you even begun the week. Just let it emerge, because when it comes to you, you'll go, yes, that's what it is. I've seen this before. I know how to be the superior person here. This is familiar. Okay, so the first changing line in the second position talks about you are the general, you have the authority, you have the mandate, you have the resources, you have the skills. Go for it. Okay, so there's something around the startup of the week, the first third of this week, where we're being asked to lead the charge. We have everything we need. We have the power and authority to move forward. Let's put the energy in, let's mobilize our team, and let's go for it. So something here is requiring that we lead in the first part of the week. Leadership takes on a new meaning for the next changing line in the fourth position, because it says we lead in this moment through non-action, through pausing, and for reflecting. Okay, this goes back in a way to our monthly overview of Hexagram 33 retreat, okay, where that is the energy of removing ourselves, withdrawing, reflecting, removing ourselves from the battlefield. So it's very, very fascinating that our changing line comes up that just ties so beautifully to this idea of retreat and this idea of non-action. So first part of the week is an issue where we are needing to charge, do, lead, make it happen, okay, seize the moment. And then there's some other issue or another phase of the same issue where we like non-act. Hold your horses, pull back, okay, stop. Just reflect and allow new insight to come. Very, very interesting. And with that, those two changing lines culminate in our second hexagram. I will often call it the outcome hexagram, but it's not necessarily what happens at the tail end of the week, okay? It is a part of the process of what evolves, okay, what relates to the first hexagram, because we've had these two changing lines. But it's also a part of the process, okay? We read these changing lines and we read these hexagrams together. We read them in parallel as overlapping flows of change. So our second area of development for this week is hexagram 16, enthusiasm. This hexagram is all about building the battery, getting ready, okay, building up the energy of the team, of the family unit, of ourselves, building our motivation, okay, our energy, because in tough times when our ideas are challenged, we need to have the motivation to challenge them and get over them, okay? If we don't have anything in the tank, the moment someone objects to our point of view, and someone will always object to our point of view, it's healthy, okay? It helps to strengthen our ideas and strengthen our resolve. If we don't have anything in the tank, okay, the moment you hit that objection, okay, just wither and crumple into a heap. We don't want that. This week, we're being asked to pay attention, to get ready, okay, to build the battery, to build up the energy, okay, to build up the reserves and the motivation and the drive and the song in the heart, okay, for what is to come. And so getting ready, okay, preparing the battery, charging it, charging ourselves is really important. In a way, this hexagram ties to hexagram 33 for our monthly overview as well. So amazing how they are all connected. So this week, as we listen to the I Ching and we say, use your critical faculties, okay, if it doesn't make sense for you, if it doesn't resonate with the evidence in your life that is connected to it, move on. But maybe there's something here that will come out of the soup, as I mentioned in the annual overview, comes out of the soup, the quantum soup, and kind of shakes its hand at us and says, oh, we could grow if we just paid attention here. And this week, the I Ching is saying our areas of focus are on mobilizing the army, knowing when it's time to non-act, to go into pause, when it's time to lead and charge forward, and to build and prepare for the time to come. Okay, build up the battery, get ready, charge up, get motivated, and build up that internal energy, okay, so that when the time comes and it's time for launch, you can go for it. Thank you so much. If this was meaningful to you or had some value to you, please hit the like button. It really helps me. And of course, please subscribe and share. If you are new to the channel, or if you'd like to share it with someone that could use this advice at this time, just pop it into a WhatsApp maybe. And of course, I will see you on the socials. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you soon at our next weekly overview.